Hi guys. No. Hi my YouTube family. How are you doing? I'm gonna try my best to speak English the best way I can. I'm a Patois girl. I speak Jamaican Patois straight because I grew up in the Clarendon bush where there was no light, there was no water, there was no road, and I walk miles to find the first shop to buy any little thing. So, but today this video is about. I was thinking how I did it as a single mother, and I want to share a little bit with you. But first, this is my book. I wrote a lot of information in this book about my journey, how I was as a single mother. This is a whole chapter in here as motherhood. How I have my first daughter to the last. The process, the formula that I use. I didn't have any experience of being a mother. I have my first daughter when I was 16 years old. I got pregnant when I was 15 years old. Didn't know I was pregnant. Have no idea that I was pregnant. People are gonna ask me why. But if you read this book, you will know why. If you read this book, you will definitely know that I have no idea. My first period when I saw it, I was at the river when I was 11 years old washing baby clothes, and I saw this thing coming down. I have no idea what it was, but I don't want to give away too much of what I put into this book. But I'm saying you wouldn't have no idea the environment that I was in, where there is no understanding. I have no knowledge of being a child, how you should be as a child, what you are going to experience as a child. And because of that, it made me think so much about raising a child, because growing up you have none of these experience. You don't have anybody sit you down and said, you're gonna have a period, so this is how you're supposed to do it. And it's so different comparing to how I raise my kids. So it's to say this to say that I give my hats off to single mothers, because I have 4 kids, and as I said before, my first daughter, I have her when I was 16. I get pregnant when I was 15. I was 7 months pregnant, and I have no clue and how I went through my pregnancy. I was put out of my grandparents' house when they found out that I was pregnant, and how did I overcome that? Having my second daughter up to the fourth, with very little knowledge of being a mother, and how did I get to raise my children without having complaints at school, people calling me that my kids was in trouble. None of that. I have none of those complaints. I never have to go to school for I never have to go to school for any of my children, because they were misbehaving class. I never have to do that. They never get in fight where I have to, you know, are getting serious trouble, anything of the thought. They were active in sports, education. They get the formula. How I raise my children is in this book. How I raise my children, I was always aware in my mind. My mind was always working consistently how to protect and to guide my kids from the things that I mentally gone through. The fact is, I'm not perfect. I was never perfect. The thing is that I did a way better job than how I was raised, comparing to that. Because when I was 19, I couldn't even spell my name. And I now can able to write this book. Because of your mindset that you have, you can change whatever you wanted to do in your life. So I am here to give hands off to the single mothers that stand firm, and their kids are booming, and they try their best mentally, emotionally, physically, to help their kids to get past the worst. No, I look at my kids, they're living their own life. I am living my life because they're grown. And um, things is never perfect with anyone, but at the same time, they're past the worst and they can able to responsible for themselves, and I can be responsible for myself. My last daughter is going to graduate now from university this year, and that's it. I can take off my hat and throw it up like this and say hooray, because she's the last one. And yeah, I did it. They passed the worst and they never got into trouble. And I pray to God that they never will. I ask God to cover them all the time and protect them from what is happening. But they have a mind of their own. I have a mind of my own, and they are going to live their life. The thing is, as a mother, you just have to always pray and to guide your children. I can't stop them what they're going to do tomorrow because they're adults, they're responsible for themselves. But the good thing about it, they have passed the worst. I have did my job, and if they choose to be a different person tomorrow, that have nothing to do with me. They're adult now. So I give God thanks that I play my part as a mother, and I encourage all the single mothers to do their best. Whether you're a single mother or not, a mother is a mother. But when you're a single mother, it's even more harder because they don't have a father to call on. Their father is not in their life to play that role model. If they have to call mom 5 times, instead of calling mom and dad 2.5 times they call dad, they're gonna call them mom the whole 5 times because there was no dad there to assist them with whatever they need to play that part in their life. So kudos to the single mother that raised their kids, and you can say, thank you God, you have helped me to get this far. So as a single mother, the growth and the process that we gone through, to provide for our children, to make sure that they have an education, always getting them ready for school. You have to get up in the morning to make breakfast. They have to make sure that they get their books to go to school, whatever they need. It's your responsibility. Their clothes, their uniform. I have to get up in the morning and iron their uniform or iron it from overnight to make sure making, get up, make breakfast, everything. All of that stuff is just hands-on to you as a parent. When, as I said before, if you have a second partner who will meet you along the way, then kudos to you, because you have to give God thanks for that, because it's very hard. I mean, a lot of mothers are single with their kids, and I have to give an extra kudos to these mothers. So I just stopped by here to say, they did their job. And who's calling me? Hello? I will call you right back in about 2 minutes. Yeah, yeah. So that's my sister. My sister-in-law just called. So we have to be grateful and give God thanks. Always pray for our children, because that is our priority. That is our responsibility, to make sure that we cover our children, ask God for his protection at all times. So as a single mother, as a mother overall, always pray for your children. It hurts me sometimes that I have to watch YouTube or watch social media and seeing what is happening with a mother's child. Every child is a child, and every child should be loved by their parents. Sometimes for me, I don't know if I am wrong, but sometimes for me, not loving your child is one of the things that your child resent as an adult. Like, they have no love, no human nature of love inside of them, and that destroy them. Ever since they were small, they were hurt, they were molested, They go through so much that you don't know as a parent. I don't know everything my kids went through. If I said I do, because I have to work hard. I never always there because I have to work to make ends meet to take care of my children. But I try my best to provide, to protect the best way I could. But you can't always. That is one thing. You can't always. If you're a single mother and you have to work, you're going to have to leave your kids at some point in time, and they're not going to tell you everything. So the fact of the matter is, you cannot be perfect because you're not where your kids. You have to send them to school. You can't be in their classroom with them. When school over, they have to come home. You don't know if when you send them to school, if they're gonna absent from school. But one thing I used to do is make sure I check my register, and I know the date them that my kids did not go to school. I always write them down in a book. If I stop my child from school today, that is gonna note in a book. Okay, on January 1st, my kid did not go to school. So when I get the register, they have to be at school on time. They cannot be late. And if they are late, then when I get that report, they have to tell me where they go. I will pop up at school and find out from the teacher. Lunchtime, when I get lunch, I would pop up at their school. I'll call the school. I'll ask about my child. I play these roles, and when I tell you, I wrote so much of it in this book. What I did, how I raised my child, why they are like this. They're respectful, they're manageable, but don't believe that they're gonna be distant all the time, because they are human. And if you diss them, they're gonna diss you. But for most part, my kids are good behaving children. They're not gonna just disrespect you like that. You have to mess with their brain, which a normal person do. They're not gonna just sit and take it. But I give God thanks for the children that I have. God, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend about my channel. And I hope you enjoy this video. Kudos to all the mothers, especially the single mothers that did not have any help. I raise my hat to you. Bless up yourself.